Hello, Cancer. It's Oh My God Tarot, and this is your you versus them reading for January 15th to the 31st. We're gonna do you. We're gonna do them. We're gonna do 3 cards, 4 each. Let's hit it. First card, 2 of Wands in reverse. That's you. What? So you're wanting to reach out. You're weighing your options right now. You're like, there's a whole world out there. There's plenty of fish in the sea. You're seeing things differently. How about that? You're like, in my current state, I'm excited. I'm starting to get the you know when you're boiling water and it first starts to bubble, like that. That's where you're at when it comes to your passion levels, your enthusiasm levels. Look at them. Okay, so they're feeling that same type of energy, but in the Pentacles area. So they're thinking about work, trying to balance their emotions, trying to balance their responsibilities, trying to balance. You know what's funny? I say emotions, but it's like gotta get my head in the game kind of energy. That's where they're at with it. I feel like, okay, and then we have the Magician. Okay, wow. Trying to make a change. You're really trying to make your whole world and day-to-day different. That's nice. This person's been overly defensive, having to defend what they're doing. It might be stuff that you don't quite understand. You're like, why are you doing this? You know, they might be on a completely different journey, whereas you're just like, all right, there's a whole world out there. I gotta take nothing and turn it into something. Sometimes that's by making executive decisions, like the King of Swords. Oh my gosh, that's you, man. You're like going for it. You're like, it's almost like you're on a mission. Okay, so then they have the King of Pentacles. So it's, oh wow, it's like, it's a similar journey. It's a similar journey that you and them. You guys have some parallels going on here, but let's get up into it. Let's look at you. You. 2 of Wands in reverse. This card usually represents somebody who's at the point where they're like, okay, here's the past. They're doing a full evaluation of like, this is the past. Here's where I'm at. Here's where I should reallocate my resources so that I can get to where I want to go in the future. Even though that's an unknown place, the idea is I'm like romanticizing the idea of being somewhere different than where I am, and even though I don't know the details of it. So that's on your mind, but it's been on your mind for more than a long time. You have, it's almost like somebody sold you some dreams, like the Magician. They're like, there's all these possibilities, you could do this, you could do that, but there's a lot of hard work, and there's a journey, there's time that passes that has to go into all of that hard work or all that experience that people, like, it's like when somebody goes, you should just quit your job and move to San Francisco. You're like, yeah, but then you quit the job part, and then you say, okay, I'm gonna move to San Francisco, and then you realize, oh crap, I need money, oh crap, I gotta pay duty fees, oh crap, I gotta do, there's details, there's logistics, and the person that told you to just go for it was like the Magician who like boosted you up, but like it was under some false perceptions of reality. So I'm like, they hyped you up, they gave you what you needed, the enthusiasm wise, because the Wands energy is intact, and it's like, okay, I gotta get out of here, I gotta make some moves, but the advice wasn't necessarily sound because it's in reverse. So this is somebody who actually knows what they're talking about, but it's like they were just lazy giving you advice. So there could be somebody, talking you into moving on, moving forward, and thinking bigger. But like there's just a little bit of the theme is, since it's the major arcana here, is that the advice might not be taken properly, or you might have there might be just some skewing of your perception of what the advice should have been, or like what the advice was. You might take it the wrong way. But also there's just an authority here who's just being very harsh. So that might be why they're manipulating you or giving you advice that's, to fit their agenda. But I feel like you just wanna, you have more than wanted to just break free of this. This seems like a kind of tense energy. Maybe that's the energy they were giving you, where they were leading you on a path that you didn't want to go. They were being kind of strict about it. They were trying to be controlling about it. And they probably weren't all that nice either. They weren't pleasant to be around. But the most important card here for you is the the Magician, because Magician is associated with Mercury, and that's speed and communication. So it's almost like you had somebody talking to you, telling you what you should do, how you should do it, and stuff like that. And what you're really after, and what you've been after for a long time, is breaking free of that kind of cycle. This is like this infinity loop where you're trapped in a cycle, and you have to like kind of time when you jump out of it. And I think that a lot of times you have to do a definitive cut it off. Like you have to make a special statement that this is done, this is over, or this is starting, you know? Let's look at them. They are balancing their money. I'm wondering if, you know, there's any correlation between what you're going through and what they're going through, because it's similar. It seems like they're balancing like their feelings, their emotions, but it might have everything to do with them balancing the fact that they're the ones that's fiscally, financially in charge. So they're kind of like, I don't know, they're playing with that. They're playing games with the fact that they have the finances. They can give it, they can take it away. Some of you guys have some dependency on them, so you're kind of like, it sucks that I'm stuck in this, and they're like leading me down a direction where I have to stay dependent, and I'm gonna have to cut it off and stuff like that. But you know, they're more of like, I need to balance my money because I have to provide for whoever, and that like makes me manipulate emotions, and I kind of have to, I don't know, it's almost like they have to remind themselves not to play those types of games, to be humble, but they're not. You have the 7 of Wands here. This is defensiveness, defending the behavior, but it's like a false like sense of rightness. Like you're defending your behavior because I guess, yeah, you do pay the bills, okay? But what happens when you lose your job and then I have to pay the bills? Do I get to treat you like crap? Do I get to make you feel manipulated? Do I get to like tell you what to do and stuff like that? Maybe that's why you're trying to prevent me from making my own money. Maybe that's why you're trying to lead me astray so that I remain dependent on you. Your whole juggling act, you're playing games. You're trying to balance my emotions, and you're trying to manage my finances, and you're trying to be defensive about why you're mean and why you're like, or maybe they're just defending some balancing, some juggling of behaviors because they have something to hide. Who knows? But this is more of like, it makes me wonder, because it's 7 is like a very internal battle that manifests as something else. It's like I'm getting very defensive in a conversation about some topic that has triggered me because in the past, like it goes deeper than just what we're doing here and now. I'm a defensive person, or like, you know what I mean? Like they're balancing something out, but they're being defensive about it. And overly defensiveness is like, you're guilty of something. What is it? Right? But maybe the quest is to be large and in charge, to be the King of Pentacles. You guys could be dealing with an Earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, or a Virgo, but this person is very stable and structured, so it lets me further know that you kind of depend on them financially, or like they're at that level and they have somebody that depends on them financially. But it feels like they're being defensive about what they do with their money, how they manage their time. I don't have time to go argue with you. I have to go to work. I have to like, and I feel like maybe that's where they're all oriented. Doesn't seem like they're all like, oh, lovey-dovey and with the cups. It seems like they're more like, okay, I'm the boss in this household. I have to be in a place where I am in charge and I'm financially stable before I can give you anything, before I can do anything significant for you anyway. But like, I feel like it's a power play. It's being able to take advantage of their position in life and then kind of flex that power and control and that understanding by communicating with you, communicating their intent instead of your letting you be free to embark on your own. I feel like that's why you have to come at them very harshly and rival their King of Pentacles. If you don't have the finances, you might have the sass, the mental strategy, okay? You might be saving your beans, or you might just be like holding your own on your own, and they believe that you really need them. So, you know, and it could be that kind of a power struggle between you two. It's like you got the 2s on the first card, both you guys have the 2s. Then you have the kings on the last card, and it's like you guys are both very strong, opposing each other. You guys are slightly like 12 degrees off from each other's intentions. You're like, I'm a king and I think in terms of lifestyle. That's him. That's them. And then you're like, I'm a king and I make executives. I cut the fat off. I enforce new ideas, new thought patterns. Like, if I need to lose weight, you got to think differently. And so what you do is like, you just shift it. You're just like, okay, I don't do this now. I'm this type of person now. And it's like a mental strategy game type of thing. And I think that's more where you're at. Like, no, I got to stick to my guns. I got to do this. I got to do that. Make a decision. Stick with it. That's where you're at, because you're feeling manipulated. You're feeling like people are able to manipulate you through talking to you, communicating with you, and like speed and communication of it all. It's just, it might even be through an internet scheme. You might, I don't know, you know, like it feels like people are trying to, you know what is out there, but people have tried to take advantage of the fact that they think that you don't know. So they keep trying to trap you and stuff, and it's not all that nice. You got to cut some things off, some people off, some energies off, take a step back, all that stuff. And they seem like they're doing well financially or responsibly, but they just have a defensive jerk type of energy to them where they, you know, balance, like they manipulate based on what they have, or they maybe use what they have as a power play type thing. Alright, so there it is. There is your you versus them reading for January 15th to the 31st. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one. Bye.